Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. This is live number 11 on the year. It's all about providing value to you, those that are watching, having you learn something. Hopefully, you're going to implement some of the things we talk about. And if you are using some of the things we're sharing, please come back, drop a comment, let us know how it's been working for you. I would love to hear from those people as well. So don't forget, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment where you're watching us from, and sit back, enjoy our conversation today with Justin Deal. What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, doing amazing, Shawn. Thanks so much for having me and giving me the opportunity to chat.
Yeah, man, this is a lot of fun. A lot of people have a fear of speaking in public, online, on video. But I appreciate you taking some time out. How are you able to get over some of your fears, possibly with video? Because I know you do some video.
Yeah, absolutely. I thoroughly enjoy it. And it's one of those things, it's just consistency, right? It's starting it, it's doing it, and it's just, it's posting. That's what I think most people, you look at it, you watch it 30 times. I think my biggest trick has been I do it once or twice. If I don't like the wording, I'll redo it. But after that, I don't really watch it again. I just post it. And I trust the universe, and I trust that I gave the information that was needed. But if anything, I think most people these last 2 years, all we've done is Zoom meetings, right? We've really been practicing in these smaller groups or larger groups, depending on the type of networking things that you do. But it's just expanding on that 30-second pitch that most people are used to giving, and just being comfortable with, obviously, sharing a little bit more about yourself. I think part of that's vulnerability too. I think that's a problem for most people is actually showing the real things that are going on, talking about failures and talking about lessons. Because we live in this world where perfect is now apparently the goal, even though there's no such thing as perfection, right?
Well said, my friend. Well said. And you said it right. A lot of people have that record button and they hit the record and then they stop. I don't like it. It's no, set it, record it, say, always have an opening, have your topic, have a closing. It's done. Post it. Don't even analyze it anymore. A lot of people, it's too much. So I appreciate you sharing that right out of the gate. Before we even get into our conversation, Justin, can you give us a little introduction to who you are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Justin Deal. I am the Vice President of Payday Employer Solutions. I'm a father of four. I'm very fortunate to have a wife who loves me enough to deal with me every day, plus our four children. She'll joke sometimes that she has 5 kids. You figure that one out. But what I do mainly is I help alleviate headaches for business owners. So we start by looking at the payroll, what those processes look like. We try to streamline that. 99% of the time, we have cost savings involved in that. But we are always saving time. And then from there, we branch out. And I use the amazing people like yourself in my network to help alleviate any of those other pain points in their business that are the what and wheres of outside of what I offer. So really try to bring a lot of value to folks, educate them, and really just help them, whether it's business related or personally, just bring some sort of value into their lives.
We're not just selling our service or a product. We're actually Justin said that he's a family man. He has kids. We're all human beings. We are doing things. We're not out to screw people. We want, as you heard him say, he has recommendation sources that he's able to in a circle to make sure that his clients are in the best situation that they possibly can. How are you finding your recommendation sources?
So a lot of them are people that I've worked with for years. We've really vetted folks out. That's a big thing we've always prided ourselves on when we started the business. A lot of other people in my industry like to kind of be the jack of all trades, right? They want to offer everything. And if you've paid attention at all over these last 2 years, it is very difficult to be an expert in your own lane, let alone be an expert in 5 other lanes, especially when we talk about things like insurances, when you're talking about pensions and fiduciary responsibility. Those aren't things that we wanted to carry all the liability on. We wanted to be the expert in payroll, and then we wanted to find other great experts that were local business owners as well that could help with anything and everything in between, home and business needs.
Now, with your business, you are New Jersey based, or are you nationwide?
So we currently do business in about 42 states. Regarding our company, we have an office in New Jersey and Belmar, and then we have an office up in Goshen, New York. The vast majority, we have about 45 employees now. Most live in the tri-state area, but we do have a few outliers. from the pandemic. Now, the beauty of that and remote working is that we could find, talent in other places and ingrain them into our company culture and give them a little better offering to do something that they truly are passionate about.
I'm glad you brought that up. Your culture, the company culture. How important is that to you?
I mean, honestly, that's everything for us. We're a family business. So myself, my mother, and my other partner who started the company, and that's always been really Rich and my mother Renee are the ones who, this is their baby. I was fortunate enough to kind of fall into the payroll industry, but they were with one of the other big guys, and that was the first thing they noticed was that the culture there was really all about the transaction, right? It was about hitting your numbers. It was about revenue. It had nothing to do with actually servicing the client. It was just churn and burn. And we're very relationship driven people. I think again, to bring up family, I'm from the typical large Italian family where we have a ton of people, predominantly women. So I've always kind of been hip to knowing that women are a little bit smarter and a little bit, just more mature than we are. Now raising three little girls, I see it firsthand from literally the jump. But we always wanted people to feel like they were more than a number. And that was really what a lot of the people in our industry did was you call and it's just this call center and nobody really knows like what's going on in your business and what the pain points are and where your struggles are. And we wanted to do things differently. So we really focus on, the culture side of things and making everybody, whether it be our staff, whether it be our clients, making them feel like they're part of the family. And it's actually funny. That's typically how a lot of our, the first calls go after a lot of my deals run. That's, my welcome email is kind of, welcome officially to the Payday family. And we're so happy to have you on board. Look forward to working with you and servicing you how we can. But it's just one of those things that, especially now, to get back to that remote working, it's a lot tougher to create that culture for folks. And that's why we see a lot of people job jumping, because if I can stay at home and you're going to pay me $5 more an hour to do the same thing, why would I not? Right. Mm-hmm. But that's why we have morning meetings with our staff every day. It's kind of, to replace that cooler talk. We dance to end the meeting just to kind of get the energy going, as I'm sure we'll get into. I'm very big into health and fitness. So I think that our staff mainly, they feel supported outside of just what their job is. They know that we're here to help them when family tragedies happen or when, those little things that just pop up in life and they need a day off. We're very understanding. And again, it's just, we really want them to feel like they're part of our family, not just an employee for some company.
Guys, you heard it just right from Justin's mouth, man. It's all about the culture, all about being a part of the family. So it's a very key thing. And you said you have 4 kids and a wife. How do you have time to get yourself in shape, man? I know you've been, killing it. You're doing the fitness journey. A lot of people think, oh, I have no time. I'm in the same boat. I got 3 daughters, a wife. I have time to get that workout in. Why is it important for you, the fitness journey? Why is that something that I think you're even doing with your wife as well at some point?
Yeah, so we've done 75 hard twice now. So very quick to wrap up that story. So I've lost 80 pounds over this past year.
Congrats, man.
Thank you very much. I was a D1 athlete in my day, and everything you said plus some were all the excuses and all the noise that was in my head. My prime was behind me. I'm just big boned. I'll never be a before and after picture. I don't have the time. All those types of things ran through my head. And then one day I finally started to invest in coaching. And coaching, honestly, it changed my life. It was one of those things that my coach had said to me, when were some of the best times in your life? And a lot of it had to do with those sports accolades. And he said, what was the difference then compared to now? I said, well, I had basically a mentor and somebody who was constantly pushing me and holding me accountable. And that I looked up to that I needed to hit these goals to get to where I wanted to get to. I said, so why did you think when you started life and business, you no longer needed a coach? And I didn't have an answer. And the first thing he challenged me to, he said 75 hard would be the answer. But he was like, I don't really believe in going into that dry. So he's like, why don't you just start? Let's cut out the alcohol, start walking every day, and just pay attention to what you put in your body. So I did that for about 60 days because I had a vacation lined up and lost about 30 pounds in those 60 days. Maintained it through the vacation. Not going to lie, I did eat a little bit and had a few drinks during that time frame. But then we got back, we hit 75 hard right away and lost another 40 pounds and have continued to do so. Hired a new trainer for this past year. So he really, now I have a macro diet that I follow. I have a daily regimen that I have to do. And I really found that the only time I had in my day was in the morning. So I had to develop a morning routine because my non-negotiable for this year, my main focus is my family. I wanted to make sure that everything was done before the end of business. I wanted to kind of cut out all the PM networking and being out of the house so often and missing things. So I said the only thing that I can do is wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day, be one of those guys that's in the gym first. And I found the energy and the momentum that brings to my day. Most mornings by 9 o'clock, I feel like I've beat everybody. I feel like I'm ahead of the game. And a lot of days I can, like at 1 o'clock, I can kind of dial back and I can focus on some other things, or, I'm constantly trying to improve. My curiosity is an all-time high now. So it gives me time to focus on other things because I like to check the boxes, so
Yep.
create, what my Power 5 are. Typically the Power 5's done by 9 a.m. and then everything is icing on the cake after that. It's just, there's something about beating the sun up and getting things done before the sun rises that just gives you this, like, you almost feel invincible, honestly. And through 75 hard, running outdoors when it was 9 degrees and, documenting a lot of that, it's one of those things that after a while you kind of yearn for it because nobody else is really doing it. There's the occasional dog walkers who kind of, they're obligated now, right? They have their animals, so they got to take them out. But outside of that, most of the time when I was out there, the pitch black, 9 degrees, there was not a single soul in sight. And that gives so much power. And then same thing with the cutting back on alcohol. I do network a decent amount. And I think we've all been to networking events. There's always a few people a little too inebriated. And I just found even with that, there's power to say that I'm just not drinking. And it's something that, in proximity too, you notice it affects other people and they kind of look at themselves. Some people, the buddy has a great saying. He said, when you elevate, people either start to separate or congratulate.
Yep.
And, I think a lot of people have started to congratulate, and thankfully not many have separated. But I've seen friends of mine that would normally have those 6, 7 drinks only have 1 or 2 now when I'm in their presence. And it's really the example that we set. And I think that's full circle to answer your question. I've really found that my mission in life anymore is to show people around me what's possible. And if I wasn't my healthiest, I couldn't tell other people that they needed to be healthier.
I mean, and you share this consistently. I share it myself. I am in the best shape of my life right now. I had a little limbo. I have little ones. I have a 3 and a 1-year-old. So it's tough for the 5 o'clock things. I'm still getting up in the middle of the night. Last night I was on the couch, things like that. But it's important, guys, to keep your health in check. Health is wealth. The more energy you're going to have, because you're going to be getting yourself into the best shape of your life. You're going to feel more confident because you fit better in your clothes. Just you'll have overall is the more success you're going to have. And then it goes back to now your culture as well. And now you're mentoring your kids. They're seeing, look at what dad's done, man. Like, I want to be like dad. And you have all 4. Are they 3 of them are girls and 1 son?
Yeah. The youngest is a boy. And that's, the girl is even now we joke because, every once in a while I do go to the gym in the afternoon just when the mornings are kind of crazy. And they'll ask, where are you going, Dad? And I'm like, going to the gym. You know why? And they're like, because you want to scare away our boyfriends. We know. I'm like, that's right. That's my mission, baby. I want them to see me and be like, all right, I'm not gonna be any disrespect to those girls. That dad looks like he's all about that business.
You have to. I'm the same way. I want to make sure I am that dad, that grandpa in the future. They're like, damn, that's your dad or that's grandpa? Because I don't want to be the one on my back. I want to make sure I'm active still doing the fun things that we should be all doing because we're taking care of ourselves and our health. So that's a very powerful thing that I hope more of you get involved in. I'm a Beachbody coach. I'm helping people with that at home. I don't have the time to go to the gym. I found that I could do the same thing with adjustable dumbbells at home, etc. But it is something that if you just start, we are proof. Just start. Maybe the 75 hard is literally too hard for you. Going for those walks consistently is a key thing to get into habit of doing that. So this is lots of value. If you're tuning in right now, #live. If you're on the replay, #replay. You might have to wait till the end to replay this whole beginning because if you missed it, there's lots of value here. I want Justin, any final thoughts we can share with everyone here today?
One thing for any business owners, I just want to throw out there because most folks aren't aware of it. There's an amazing program out right now called the Employee Retention Credit. So a lot of my social media is based on this right now. Last year, we were able to help about 500 of our clients receive $35 million back from the IRS. Let me repeat that again. $35 million back as working capital. So there's two ways basically you can qualify for this. I'm going to go over this very briefly, but if anybody wants to call to chat, we can go into much more detail about it. You either in 2021 had to be down 20% in gross revenue compared to the exact same quarter in 2019, which some folks are going to qualify there, but a lot of folks are going to qualify under B, which is you are partially shut down, fully shut down, or limited the capacity of your business during the pandemic. So perfect examples of this would be your restaurants, pizza shops, barber shops, doctor's offices, nail salons, hair salons, breweries, distilleries, places that had a limit to how many people could come in the door, right? So those folks were automatically going to be eligible because for those about 20 months, they could only have 50% of people in their business. And they might say, well, Justin, my revenue was up, but I was affected by that. I give the same example to everybody. A pizza shop is the perfect example. Most folks during the pandemic ordered more from their local pizza spot because you're not going to order from Del Frisco's and bring it home. You're going to order from the pizza shop that delivers fresh, hot, delicious food right to your house. Their revenue went up, but most pizza shops have those 10, 15, sometimes 20 seating options. They could only have 50% of that capacity throughout the entire course of the year, which limited their revenue. You can get up to $26,000 per employee with the Employee Retention Credit Program. So if you would like to learn more about that, I know Shawn has my number that he can flash on the screen. Feel free to call me. We have a website. It's a very simple process. We just have to collect some data. If you're not a client, we have to learn if you use the PPP funds and when. And outside of that, we'll do all the calculations for you. And for an example, a small shop with about 6 employees, we just got them over 3 quarters that they qualified $100,000 back. That is a 6-employee biweekly business that now has a 6-figure bump in their capital that they can do anything with. This isn't like the PPP where you have to use it for rent, utilities, and payroll. This is truly the IRS saying thank you for continuing to pay your staff during the hardest times that anybody has seen in business, and we are going to give you some working capital back to do what you please with it. So I would highly, highly recommend if you own a business and you feel that you were in either of those buckets where you were down to 20% or you were limited capacity to your revenue, I would love to have a conversation and help you figure out why you are eligible or why you are not eligible.
I hope that those that are watching take you up on it. Have a call with Justin, friend request him, check him out on social media. Definitely have conversations. If you're a business owner, you definitely need to have a conversation, see how he can possibly cut some costs on payroll. And those that are watching, we hope you gain some massive value. If you have, please drop a couple comments, share this video. We want to help as many people as possible. My tagline I've added now is I want to help, motivate, and inspire. So that's why I share a lot of the things I'm doing as well, because I know there's people watching out there. And if I can do it, Justin can do it, you can do it as well. So Justin, thanks so much for joining us today. And till the next one, guys, we hope you have an awesome day.